Hello, 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 everyone. Welcome to the stream. Kyle, A0Z. And I got Mike. No, over there. Mike, Traveling Ham, KE0VIM. Hello, Mike.
I'm here. I'm here. Hello.
Mike has got a YouTube channel. It's in the description, Traveling Ham. Go and subscribe. Mike, you are in California this time, aren't you?
Yeah, just barely. I'm almost to escape and run up into Oregon, but we got just a few more days here. We're seeing the really tall trees.
Ah, yes. So what is your favorite park? I know that. So if you watch Mike's YouTube channel, he does some crazy stuff in crazy parks that everyone loves to look and look on YouTube and be like, oh, I want to go there because it is so beautiful, or it's a unique park or whatnot. Mike is in there activating, and there's probably been a favorite park in California that you've activated. What has been your favorite park so far? Do you have one?
There's still a lot of them in the eastern part of the state I have to see yet. So, and we're going to come back down in the fall through the valley when the weather's a little cooler and see some of those, like the Yosemites and the sequoias and all that. But right now, I would have to say seeing the California condors in Pinnacle Peak National Park was pretty cool.
Oh yeah, the California condors, that'd be cool.
Yeah. I mean, there's only like 300 some alive in the wild. I think 500 total in existence, 300 in the wild, and
wow,
that's cool to see.
That's crazy. Yeah. So go subscribe to Mike. He does. He's activated the arch. We had a little contest on who could get.
I think I'm the park leader there, aren't I?
I think I got you by a couple of cues.
But did you get me? Okay, all right.
I went back, but there was somebody like literally 2 weeks ago that was in the park, and he was there for like 3 days. So I'm sure that he's beaten both of us.
Oh no!
Yeah. So I haven't checked, but anyway.
All right.
But today we are doing SOTAmat, MATE, SOTAmat. Actually, it's MAT, right? MAT.
Yeah, with the little whatever over the A. Yeah.
SOTAmat. So the reason why we put together this stream is I know that Mike is a user of this program, and I am going out with a bunch of friends, YouTube friends, myself, Jason, Frank, Robert. Let's see who else. Ham Radio Nomad's going to be out there. TO's going to be out there. We're going to go to Colorado. And we're going to go to the Ouray area, which if you don't know anything about Ouray, you should Google Ouray and do some street views. It is absolutely
beautiful.
Amazing. Yeah, it's in the San Juan Mountains. Absolutely beautiful. We are going to be out there for a week. I'm going to be out in Colorado for a little bit longer. But there's going to be some parks that I am probably going to activate that I'm not going to have cell phone coverage. And I wanted to get familiar with SOTAmat, and I knew Mike had some experience. So here we are. We're going to go through the program, and we're going to get me all set up to be able to spot without any cell phone coverage, no internet, but we're going to be able to set this thing up. So therefore, I can get on FT8, spot myself, go back to a frequency, and call CQ, and hopefully make some contacts and activate some parks. So that's what we're going to do. But the first thing I want to do is I'm on the homepage here. So let me share my screen here. So let's get to SOTAmat on the air, and then let me add it to the scene. Here we go. And then let me take this. So here's the SOTAmat homepage, and you got to create an account, right, Mike? So I created an account.
Use your call sign as the username.
And then what is really cool is I had no idea, not only does it do self-spotting for SOTA and pota and alerting, obviously for RBN, obviously, that's probably, if the RBN's not picking you up, I think you can probably just, like it says, tickle here the RBN hole to get you on the RBN. But I had no idea that you could send two-way commands via the internet, or SMS or email. So I guess you could configure this thing so you could send an email to a loved one to say, hey, I'm, somewhere, and at least, get an email out or an SMS out to somebody to say, hey,
Yep.
I'm okay.
Yep. So on my Grand Canyon activation, I pre-programmed my account with 3 different messages, because you have to preload it because you're offline. And I was able to send a message to my wife from the bottom after I had hiked down with her daughter, just to say that we're okay. We made it down and everything's okay. And I was able to send that to her cell phone.
Yeah, that is awesome.
Yeah.
But you have to pre-configure that in the program, which we're not going to do that, but we're going to pre-configure frequencies and pota locations. So therefore I can choose one and then send that over FT8, and that will spot me on the pota website, right?
Yeah. And this is the part that a lot of people get hung up on when they think about, do I want to use SOTAmat? Well, how am I going to know? There's thousands of parks out there. You're going to be driving by all these parks on this road trip. How do I know which one I'm going to be at? And the process seems more complex in people's minds than what it actually is. So I think that's something that'd be good to show people tonight. It's just how simple it really is to get this set up, and then you're set. And depending on how many states and frequencies we put in, Kyle, we might be able to include like Missouri and Illinois at the same time to just cover your basic operations when you're back home as well. So you just always have it there ready to go.
Yeah. Okay, cool. So I think what this thing does, actually, I have a little confession here. I set this thing up many, many years ago, or, whenever it first came out, but I've never used it. So we deleted all the stuff out of it, and Mike and I are going to go through, and he's going to refresh me on everything. But
we turned it off and turned it on again.
Yes, we rebooted it. Did you reboot? But from what I understand, here's a very good graphic of, I'm going to take my KX3 out, and once you load all of your predefined stuff on to this configuration website, then you download it to your phone. And from what I understand, tell me if I'm wrong, then you pick the combination in your phone of the configuration that you created on the website. And then you just tune to a FT8 you just tune to the FT8 calling frequency. And then you take your phone and say, spot me at the configuration that you want to be spotted at. And then the phone plays FT8 tones, and you just hold it up to the microphone.
Literally like this.
Right. And then the what service is it? I guess it's the skimmers, the FT8 skimmers. They pick that up.
Possibly the PSK. What's the
PSK reporter?
PSK reporter. Thank you. Got live brain. PSK reporter, I think, plays a role in that as well.
So then it picks it up and says, "Oh, you." Then the SOTAmat program in the background says, "Oh, you sent the code, the special code of a spot. I'm going to take that, and I'm going to translate that, and I'm going to take that information, look it up in my database, and then send it to the pota or the SOTA spotting website based on how you had it configured on the website."
Yeah. It's almost like on your account that we'll set up here. I picture it like a little matrix, and you got all your parks along the top axis, and you got all your frequencies and mode down the vertical. And then when you send that FT8 message, it's like a code that tells SOTAmat, this cell right here, and SOTAmat will say, okay, well, this is Kyle wanting to activate, Rocky Mountain National Park, US 0059, and he's running Morse code on 14.04, and it just sets it just like that.
Gotcha. Yes.
Very, very reliable.
Frank says your radio does not have to be an upper sideband digital either. It just needs to be an upper sideband and you're good.
Just upper sideband. And you don't have to have WSJTX. You don't have to have any experience in FT8. Don't worry about any of that.
Gotcha. Cool. All right.
You've got a phone that's offline, which you probably have on you anyway.
Yep.
And any radio that can do USB. You know, if you got a little mountain topper that you're planning on doing CW on, then you might be in trouble. But you got to be able to do USB to transmit on the FT8 frequencies. Looks
like the SOTAmat and pota. Oh no, it's just SOTAmat. Looks like they've got a little dongle that can plug into your RS-232 connector on a KX line and get some cat control. That's kind of cool.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's get started here. Let's start to configure this. So I'm assuming I need let's see, there's HF's activity. What is this?
That's going to show you your recent spots.
Oh, okay.
So,
gotcha.
So if you know, once you have gone through this trip, Kyle, you can come back home and go back to that spot and see on this page and see how many times you were actually spotted. So, like again, in my Grand Canyon example, I could go back and see that I got spotted my signal was received, you know, like 18 or 19 times. And you only need one. You only need one of those to spot it. So there's all kinds of redundancy there. And, you know, that's from 5,000 feet down. You know, I'm still able to get this to work. I mean, it's that reliable. It's that robust.
Gotcha. So I think we want to come over here to HF preparation, right?
Yep. And you got a couple things you're going to want to do here. Load your pota locations and your frequencies and modes. Are you going to be doing any summits?
You know, I might, but I think for this demonstration, let's just do pota.
Okay. All right. So you can do either one of those first. It doesn't matter, however you want to start.
Okay. So I clicked on HF preparation and I clicked on pota locations and it brought me to this screen.
Yep. And you're going to click on new entry.
Okay.
And then for our US viewers, you'll be typing US dash and then the state there you go, Colorado. And you got to physically click it there. There you go.
Okay.
And then apply. And if you want to add another one, pick apply and add new.
Oh, okay. Gotcha. So let's just do Colorado for this.
Okay.
Oh, I did add new. Oh, cancel. Okay. So I've got US-Colorado here in my location ID.
Yep.
Okay.
And if you pan down, it will show you. So what you just did is loaded every single pota entity in Colorado, but you'll have to refresh your screen in order to show it down there.
Okay. So you don't have to choose the pota locations. It just automatically does it by state.
Right. It does it by state. You're going to get the whole glut for Colorado, which you're covering some ground, so that's okay.
Gotcha. So it says that there's 257 parks in Colorado.
Yep. And then what we're going to do here, this is a little multiplication table here. So what we're going to do then is we're going to add frequencies. That's the frequency step square. We're going to multiply those two together to get all of the possible combinations. And the big rule is we've got to keep your possible combinations under 1 million. So 1,000 parks, 1,000 different frequencies, and that's what you got.
Gotcha. Okay. So there is a limitation.
Yeah. So on mine, I've got like 3 bands. I've got the general voice portion for 40, 20, and 15 meters. And I've got the CW portion for the same bands. And right now I've got loaded Nevada, California, Oregon, and Washington. So you're able to fit a decent amount in there in those 1 million combinations. Of course, your mileage will vary depending on which state you're importing.
Right. Gotcha. Okay. And then for the frequency, okay, we'll get into the frequency steps. Gotcha.
Yep.
Okay. So are we looks like we're down at the bottom of the page. Are we done with the locations?
Well, let's add another state. I mean, what
Okay.
state are you going to be driving through to get there? Are you planning on doing anything like in Kansas or Nebraska
Oh
or
yeah,
anything
good.
like, or Missouri?
Yeah, good old Dorothy's home state.
There you go. A lot of nice state parks there.
So we're gonna do Kansas. Okay. And let's see. Let's refresh there. What are we up to? 401.
So you still don't have too many there.
Okay, so let's do sure, let's do US Mo. The old home state.
Okay.
I think there's like 350 parks in Mo. So let's refresh here. Yeah, 936.
936 there. Hey, Missouri's got a decent number there.
Yeah,
and if we go over a little bit, we can always come back and take a state out. If once you got your frequencies in.
Gotcha. Okay.
We can always come back and change that. No problem.
All right. So I think what we need to do is put in our frequencies.
Yep.
So if I come back up here to HF preparation and I come down here to frequencies and modes, I'm assuming it's going to give me the same type of thing. Okay.
Pretty much. This is going to be a little more complex, but same general format here.
Okay. So if I go to new entry, so yeah, let's start SSB because that's the hardest thing for people to spot on, right? I mean,
right.
if you if you put in an activation, a pre-activation, a scheduled activation in POTA, and you are within the time frame, and I think there's some leeway, and you call CQ on CW, I think it's going to pick you up and spot you, right?
It should.
Oh, okay.
It should. I have not had good luck with the POTA skimmers and RBN of late. RBN seems like it works fine. You can go back in, like we showed here, how you can go in and see after the fact if you got spotted. You can do the same thing on the Reverse Beacon Network website. And it looks like I get spotted and POTA doesn't scrape it. And I actually did contact POTA about this through their help desk. And they were just kind of like, it's not 100%.
Yeah.
It was the response I got. So, they're all volunteers. So I don't give them a hard time. It's like, okay, well, that's more reason to have SOTAmat available, even if you're talking about CW or digital modes where you can get spotted automatically like that how it's supposed to work.
Yeah, best effort.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's start with SSB and then base kilohertz.
All right, so you got to choose here which band first of all you want to include.
Okay.
And so obviously here you're talking 20 meters if you got 14 meters up there.
Right.
And what the base kilohertz is this is going to be your lowest frequency on which you would do SSB. So, in my case, being a general, I make my lowest frequency 14.225.
Yeah. Well, same with me.
So that's what you're doing with your base frequency there. If you're an extra, you can go down lower. Was it like 14.125? I think if you're an extra, so or 150. But we'll do 225 here for the general portion, and then this is going to tell you your distance between your possible frequencies. So what this is going to do, this is going to build. You'll get a little scroll wheel in the bottom of your phone app. So when you tell it which base frequency, it's going to pull up that 20-meter wheel, and then you'll be able to sit there and scroll through all the frequencies.
Oh,
and
okay.
So this will give you a 1 hertz, or does that say 1,000? I can't tell. That probably says 1,000.
Yeah.
Yeah. So 1 kilohertz step. So that's a pretty smart way to do it. So then your next one will be 14.226, 14.227. And then your next blank there in steps, you're going to tell it how many of those steps that you want to take. So if you want to go from 14.347 since it's upper sideband, you got to sit here and do the math.
Yeah. So let's
maybe
do that math.
Frank can do some math for us here and figure out how many steps that we need to use to get to 14.347. Is that 122? Am I doing that right?
Yep, 122. You got it. Ooh, wow. You did math on camera. Math on screen.
Even a blind squirrel can find a nut, buddy.
There's plenty of them around here in St. Louis. All right. So yeah, 122. And okay, so then that will give me 14.225 all the way up to 14.347 every kilohertz, 14.226, 227, 228, 228. Well, what was Jack A? Was that 22? No, it's 227. Anyway,
boy, that's going back right there.
Jack A. Yeah, and there's 122 of those in the steps. So I could put 20 meter SSB, 1 kilohertz, and then so then I can just hit OK, right?
And we have essentially just set up in 1 kilohertz steps the entire voice section, the SSB, the voice section of 20 meters for general.
Yeah. Okay. So if I refresh here, it's going to multiply. Oh, 936 parks times 122 frequency steps. Wow, that is only 114,000.
Yeah. So you're going to be able to do a few here. And, for a guy like yourself, I think you're going to want to include the CW portion as well.
Yeah.
I tell you, I've got 2 or 3 videos out there now where I'm calling with Morse code, trying to get that RBN to work. And I mean, admittedly, my keying ain't great, but I know RBN is picking me up because I've checked afterwards, and pota just isn't scraping it. And the best example was one in Yellowstone where I literally, in my video, I'm counting the number of times I'm calling CQ and RBN isn't helping me. I get to like 40 or 44. I spot myself on SOTAmat and get it on the first call. I get a return.
I remember that video. You were out in the middle of nowhere, and like you went to that ranger station, right? Or like you went. Well,
I used it there too. That was that was the zone of death over in the Idaho section of Yellowstone. But this was out at Lone Star Geyser.
Oh, okay.
Neither one of those did I have any signal, but I called there over and over and over again because I was using CW on that activation. I thought, no problem. I'll just do it this way, the easy way. 40 tries, and it didn't spot. And literally one call after spotting on SOTAmat, there it is.
Yeah. I'll have to go look up at that zone of death. That's isn't that a place where if you're gonna kill somebody, that's the place to do it because there's not enough people to pull a jury of your peers or something like that?
Theoretically, it's a legal loophole because you're in a park. It's a federal crime, has to be served in federal courts, and in a federal court, you have to be tried in front of peers from both their zone and the state that the crime was committed. Well, the zone is Wyoming, but the state is Idaho. So there have to be people that live in this area that overlaps, and that's this 5-mile wide stretch of the zone of death in the park. Nobody lives there. Population literally of 0. So it's the basis of the zone of the Yellowstone. What do they call it? The train station.
Yeah. All right. Well,
it's the basis for that, but.
You didn't learn it here,
in theory. We are not lawyers, but yeah, don't try that.
Yeah, don't try this at home, kids.
Maybe try something small first.
Yeah, start with some misdemeanors first, and then work your way up.
Yeah, there you go.
That's the only way to go. Okay, Frank, Mike with the hot facts.
Hey, you learn things traveling. That's part of the fun.
Yeah, that's funny. Okay. So here we go with putting the frequency steps for CW. Now, what do you suggest? Like usually usually what happens is I don't conform by some of the rules. I know that the QRP frequency, I think for 20 meters is something like 14.30 or something, but I end up activating always. It doesn't matter if I'm running QRP or 100 watts. I like the 60 to 70 range.
Yeah.
That's where I like to hang out in.
Yeah. So you could take a couple different strategies. You could just pick, that section and really add some fine granularity to your steps.
Okay.
Or you could still just spread it out. Like I've got mine across the whole general portion of that CW stretch from, I think it's 14.025 to 14.070 is my range, and I've got it in 500 hertz steps.
Oh,
So I can
okay.
go on every frequency or off.
Well, let's do that.
Take whatever strategy you want.
Yeah, because I don't have a lot of combinations. So that is you did 14.000.
I think it's 025 is the bottom of the general, is the bottom of the band for generals.
Okay, and then you did 500 hertz.
500 hertz increments. Yeah.
Okay,
yeah.
and then
But you're an extra, so you could lower that if you want.
Yeah, nobody hangs out in the extra band.
All right.
Okay, so for let's see, 20 meter. What did I call the last one?
But you've only got one step in there, so you'll be at 14.025, and that's it.
Oh, okay, yeah. So,
or maybe one step. No, that'd be it.
Yeah. So I need let's see, if I'm gonna do 500 hertz, so 025 minus 070, well, that's 45.
Yeah. Multiply that times 2 since you're doing the half a megahertz increments. So it should be 90, right?
90. It should be 90, right?
Someone in the chat will tell us if we're wrong.
Yep. Okay.
I think we're on the right track here.
Yep. CW 500 hertz. Let's see if I Okay. And then let's refresh that. Oh, only about 200. Interesting.
Yeah. You should be able to do a few bands here, maybe more. You're going to base this a lot off what antenna you're planning on using as well. What bands do you have available and to you with the equipment that you're taking? Right. If I've got my 40 meter endfed half wave, I'm not going to be putting 17 meters on there.
Right. Yeah. I typically only do 20 and 40. I might do occasionally 30 if there's a lot of noise, but I'm hopeful that I will be in parks and wide open spaces that won't have a lot of noise. But you never know.
Yeah. Well, certainly if it's if you're activating the evenings, 40 is a good band out there. It's a lot of desolate area to be using 40 during the daytime. Yeah,
good point. All right, so okay, so we did 20 meters. I think that I'm good with that. I can add, there's like some sample configuration here. So you can go down here and read the sample configuration. This is good. Okay, good.
Yeah, maybe he does some of the math for you then. That's smart.
Here's our 122 steps. Yeah, you're right.
Oh, there we go.
And then, on 20 meters, use an upper sideband or SOTA operators. Yeah, I don't think, looks like he doesn't really do a CW, call out CW explicitly, but okay. All right.
Yeah. But give yourself some options. I mean, you might as well fill up all the space you can. So if for whatever reason 20 meters isn't getting it done for you and you want to change to 15 or 40.
Yeah. So let's
have one of those available or both.
Let's do single sideband 40. So what is the general lower limit on 40? Let's see. I always had to look up the ARRL band plan.
No, we're just gonna have to pull this up now, aren't we? Yeah.
Yeah. So let's see. Somebody in the chat, by the time we
what's it, like a 7-second delay though?
My
40 meters.
my ad blocker is getting me. Okay, so 40 meters. Here,
You doing CW or SSB?
SSB. What is
Oh,
it?
okay. Well, shoot, that's 7.175. I knew that one.
175. Okay, 175. Actually, it's it shouldn't be 175. It should be
You're right.
178, right?
There you go. Yeah, Frank's on it. Frank's on it.
Oh,
Good
yeah,
job,
Frank got it. Frank got
Yeah,
it. Okay.
yeah.
Okay. So 178, and then step 100 100 hertz or 1,000 hertz, and then can you go to 7? Yeah, you can go to 7,300. So what is that?
Is that 120? It's still 122, isn't it? Is that 122 again? I think it is.
It is?
I think so.
Wow.
They're the same. They're the same. The bandwidth's the same. They're just offset a little.
You're right.
Yeah.
How weird is that? Okay. 40.
Like somebody planned it.
Yeah, it's like they play SSB 1 kilohertz. All right. Click OK. And then we're going to refresh here and see what we're up to. Only 312,000. Wow.
Oh, man.
Okay.
Yeah, we can keep rolling.
Yeah. Okay. So now we're going to do CW. And CW goes from 7,000, and we're going to do 500 hertz. And that goes all the way up to 070, right?
Yeah, if you want to stay away from the digital. I mean, technically, it goes all the way up, right?
Right. I mean, yeah.
But if you want to stop where the digital starts, that's a fine place to do it, and that'll cover you in most every situation.
So again, that's 90, right? 90 steps.
We're starting a little bit lower here because you got it 7.000.
Right. So
you could do 7.025 again, and then that would be 90 steps. Or you could.
Yeah, I'll just do that. Because I'm never that low in the band.
Or if you go all the way down to the bottom, you just add 50 steps. So that'd be 140. 140 steps.
Now I'll just do 7.025. Yeah. So that's CW.
Kyle's a man of the people. He's not going to be hanging out there in the extra band.
Nah, nothing but I mean, it's like being out past midnight. Nothing good happens. Okay. Just like my parents told me whenever I was 16, nothing good happens after midnight. All right, we are up to 400,000 combinations, which is way lower than I expected.
Yeah. Well, it's good. I mean, I think you got to get your 2 modes at least on 3 bands.
Yeah. And
then we could always add states or add more or leave it as is. You might as well use your million as much as you can. You know, you're going to have to download on your phone, but it doesn't take any time at all. It's not like you're going to save yourself downloading time by only having 500,000 versus a million.
Yeah.
There's no reason not to go ahead and fill it up, or you can add states too. But I think this is kind of the process everyone will go through. You know, you'll throw in a few states, throw in a few frequencies, and then decide, do I want to add on more states? I want to go ahead and put my home states in there. So, you know, this will do me for, a year for this road trip that I'm on, plus for all the time that I'm home afterwards.
Yeah. So Frank said it fed SOTAmat 10, 15, 20, and 40, all with California, Nevada parks and California summits in the mid-state range and barely touched the limit. Yeah. So I think what I'm going to do is after we get done after this example is probably come back and maybe put some summits in there. I might get a wild hair up my butt and decide to climb a summit.
Yeah. Well, let's talk about that a little bit, because summits are just a touch more complicated.
Okay.
Because they're not necessarily by state. So if you go to SOTA, it's by the region. So for a guy like you traveling to a different state, it's going to be difficult for you to know the regions that you're going to want to load for SOTA, because Colorado is going to have several. So, you and this list is enormous because it starts with W all the way down at the bottom. So you got to get what's Colorado? It's W0C.
C.
Is that right?
W0C, I believe. Yeah.
Yeah.
There's W1.
And is 0 at the top or the bottom?
It's at the bottom. Oh, we broke it. What's going on? Like
we're here to set up SOTAmat, Kyle, not kill it. I think it's at the top. I think 0s might have been before the 1.
Oh, there it is.
There you go.
Wait a minute. Oh yeah,
Oh yeah, you can just filter it by typing in whiskey 0 Charlie and
yeah. Okay, but so this is what I do. This is I don't know if I'm going to be able to hang on. Let me reshare this. Let me go to my control room here and let me go back. Let me just share the entire screen here. Share. All right, so I go to saltless.
Yeah. SOTLAS.
There we go. I love this website. Shows you. So there's all of my summits down in St. Louis, south of St. Louis. But okay, so let's go. Let's load. There's Utah. So these are the summits that I'll actually I probably won't be climbing those. I'll be climbing the ones that are kind of over here by Bona Vista and Sedalia, Sedalia. I got Missouri on my mind. That's
you're gonna be over there by South Park.
Yeah. Fair Play. It's up here, right?
Yeah. You're just right to the right there. Yeah.
All right. So let's just take this summit right here, for example. That is W0C/SP87. Now, somewhere there was like boxes that showed the regions.
I think that literally does stand for South Park also. Park County.
I can't. Back to the map. More? No. So I'm looking for... oh, maybe that was associations. Oh, no.
Yeah, I've never looked at it that way. I'm no help.
Yeah, maybe it's the SOTA website that I'm. And then let's see, summits and associations.
Because it'd be nice to know if you pick that SP region, what area exactly are you covering?
Right. I could have swore that. Where's the map on challenges, uploads, summits? Could have swore that there was a map on the SOTA website. Now we're just burning the midnight out. Here we go. This is what I'm looking for.
You're just proving the point. It's just a little more complicated to get the SOTA part to work.
Yes. Yeah. So if you come down here to Colorado.
So you're on SOTAmaps.org.
SOTAmaps.org, right.
Okay.
So then if I go to SP, this is what I'm looking for. South Park, yeah. So then it hones in on all of in the region. That's what I'm looking for.
Yeah. So that area you're talking about is that little skinny valley all down the left side there. You got mountains on either side.
Yeah, that's what
I've done a summit in that region.
Yeah, I'll have more time in whenever I'm in this area versus whenever I'm with the guys, down in the Ouray area.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's just add those just for talking points here. So this is South Park region. Posting call. Let's just put my call in here. And then let's click OK. So then whenever I refresh, what did it jump up to? 451,000. Almost 452,000.
She's still got a lot of room.
Yeah, a lot of room. Okay. So I think I'm done.
No,
I'm not done.
you're not done. You're done with the website portion.
Okay.
But the whole idea now is that you can use your phone offline. So what we just created has to exist on our phone.
Okay. So, all right. So I have to download the SOTA, the program, right?
Yeah. And this part is on our phone, I guess, which is going to be harder to share.
Well, I'm going to try something. We're going to see if this is going to work.
Oh, all right.
So, hang on. Everyone hang on. Don't do anything dumb.
Crossing all my fingers.
So, if I go into Video Ninja, Video Ninja, and I say share my screen, and let's see, I'm going to say connect, share one app, share the entire screen. If I show something that is not appropriate, not like a password, don't hack my account. Share my screen. Okay.
I'll just cover it up. I'll just reach over here and cover it up if something comes up.
All right. So now I need to add this to the scene. Can you see my screen?
I cannot. Well, I'm looking at your computer screen still for SOTA regions.
Oh, can you? Let's see. I've added it to the scene. You can't see it on the. Okay, let me get rid of this. So you can't see my phone, Mike?
Yeah, now I can. Yeah.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah, now I can.
So now let's go.
And we hit the print screen a bunch of times while you're flipping through stuff.
Oh crap! I lost it. Hang on. I gotta open it again. Crap. This is riveting. Okay. Let's see. Screen, connect, share my entire screen, share my screen. Is it sharing? No, not yet.
Bill's upset that you said don't do anything dumb. Now he doesn't know what to do.
Okay. Connect. Share the entire screen. Oh, okay. Hang on. All right. Can you see my screen now?
I can see your screen.
Okay, so let me get into SOTAmat. Okay.
We got a pixie shot.
I think. Okay, I'm in the screen here. I hope you can see it on the screen. And I got this error, configuration mismatch. Your configuration was changed on the SOTAmat server, mate server, but this device's offline copy hasn't been updated. Please refresh your online configuration to this in the setup tab in step 2.
Yeah, so it's automatically detected that you've gone into your database and changed your information and is prompting you to re-download the data onto your phone.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah.
So how do I do this?
It should be on your setup tab.
Okay, got set up.
And it says step 2, login and load configuration.
Okay, gotcha. So you're not going to be able to see this because it has my call sign and it has my password blanked out, but it's got this load configuration button on the screen. So I'm assuming I'm going to hit this load configuration and it says successfully loaded.
Yep. And there's one other thing you can do here too while you're on this screen. Step 3, load peaks and parks database. So if you download that, then when you are in Colorado on site, you can pull up the nearest parks to your location.
Gotcha.
So
Okay.
if you give SOTAmat permission to see your location, it'll give you, a list of parks by their proximity to you based on those silly little yellow pins on the POTA
Gotcha.
They
Okay.
got to take it with a grain of salt, but most of the time that's fairly handy.
Okay. So I did that, and now I'm back into so now I'm on the Spot POTA website. You can see it on the screen there. So
now your setup is really complete.
Okay, so now I've literally, I'm to the point now where I have figured out what park I'm in and possibly what frequency I need to spot myself on, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, so
where do you want to be? Where are you most excited to be on your trip here?
let's go to Colorado, and then let's go to, oh geez, I don't know what the park
Which
number,
park?
I don't know. Let's do,
what's the name of the park?
Let's do the
Gunnison?
Black Canyon of the Gunnison.
8008.
8008.
No, just 0008.
Oh, zero.
Park
what?
number 8.
Oh, gotcha. Okay,
Yeah,
got it.
Yeah.
And then I hit this pick park.
Well, that's the interesting part. We could have made that all faster, that whole process, if we were on location. So if you're standing right there on the edge of the canyon and you push pick park, it's using your GPS, which of course works whether or not you're on the internet or not. And it would say, oh, well, he's right next to Black Canyon of the Gunnison, and it's going to include that right near the top of your list, and it'll have the park number on there for you.
Got it. Understood.
Wouldn't work while you're in your office in St. Louis.
Yeah. So it automatically put in Black Canyon. Oh, you guys can see that. I'm showing you on the thing, but you got it on the screen. Okay.
Just verifying.
So, all right. So I'm in the park.
Yep.
I've got the park selected.
Yep.
So now I want to go to, okay. So let's say I want to do single sideband on 14 meters.
So there's where your base frequencies show up right there. That's what it's going to show you, or the base frequencies are the lower end of all those ranges we set up.
Yeah. And then I want to go, then it's got all the frequencies here.
Yeah. Yeah. Then you can just sit there and scroll through them and pick which frequency you're on.
You know what frequency we're going to activate on? We're going to do
14300.
Yeah, 14300. Why not?
How'd I guess?
Okay. So then, I've got some choices here down in Spot Via. I've got network, FT8 audio, or SOTA. Can I select network? I can. Oh,
I have never touched that. I've never even seen that part. It's clearly there.
Yeah. So I guess I could go in here and use just my cell phone network via SMS, email to, this is interesting.
Yeah. Yeah. And a lot of these videos that I've made on SOTAmat, which I've gotten about a handful now. Brian Matthews, the creator of SOTAmat, keeps kind of poking me saying, hey, show the SMS. So show those functions too, not just the FT8 stuff. So here we go, Brian. We're including it now.
Bill, breeze past all that ham porn. Yeah.
How's it going, Bill?
Okay, so I chose HF FT8 audio, and then the computed FT8 message is STM AA0Z/8820.
Yeah. So that's what's going to get scraped. That's your little bit of FT8 text. So not very many characters there, but it obviously identifies your call sign. And I think the 8820 tells it which cell that it's going to select. That says Kyle's on 14.300 at Black Canyon of the Gunnison.
Got it.
So there's one other setting here
Okay.
that, maybe this part does take a little bit of FT8 experience, but you've got a volume setting on there as well
Yeah, I see that.
to kind of keep yourself from overdriving your radio. So it controls the volume out of your phone. And the volume setting that you have your phone at will affect all this too. So you probably want to do something consistent, like have the volume on your phone all the way up when you're transmitting, just so you got a known point. And
Yeah.
then you set that ALC one time, have your radio to where it's showing ALC when you transmit, and then you can dial it in while it's going.
Got it. Okay.
And it's going to transmit 3 times on 3 different FT8 frequencies, and it's going to do it in successive 15-second increments. So it's going to blow and go for like 13 seconds, and then take a breath for a couple, and then it's going to go again at a slightly higher frequency for 13 more seconds, take another breath, and go again. You can stop it somewhere in that stretch if you want. I always just let it go the full 3 times. And you can, Kyle, you could go ahead and hit transmit and get a little demonstration on what it does. So it's actually going to play the FT8 tones, and all you got to do is hold your microphone up to your phone and key the mic. Just keep in mind, you got your mic keyed, so it's going to play everything. It's going to pick up that tone.
Can you hear it?
Barely. Maybe jack up your volume a little. There you go. So just switch to the second frequency there. Getting ready to go to the third. There, you can tell it's a little higher now. That's the third frequency. Yeah, it's hot now.
And hopefully I'm spotted by now.
Yeah, yeah. And generally that takes enough time. By the time I get back to my activation frequency and call CQ pota, more often than not, somebody's there waiting for me.
Yeah. So what happens what gets decoded? Do people that are running FT8 and WSJTX, do they see this decode, or do they decode that?
I don't know.
8820, and does it show up on their screen?
I would imagine it would. I don't see why that it would not. It'd be part of that scrolling group of decodes that you get in WSJTX. I suppose you could.
Interesting. Yeah.
And I've always wondered about, okay, when it goes through those 3 steps, how do you know you're not on top of somebody else?
Right.
You really don't. And I think it was Brian that even gave me a response on that and said, that FT8 really is designed to be able to handle that.
So Frank
says 2 signals can be overlapping.
Okay, yeah. So Frank says WSJTX does not see it. Okay.
Okay. I'll take Frank's word for it.
But you have a very good point on, you could be, I guess that's why they call 3 times on different frequencies, because you could be overlapping.
Right. And maybe if WSJTX doesn't see it, maybe that takes care of the issue right there.
Yeah. Good point. Good point.
That's for someone smarter than me.
Yeah.
I just hit the button and I know it works.
I just hit the big red button.
I just do things.
And then we're spotted. And then we, like you said, then we go back to our original frequency and start calling CQ.
Yeah. So just keep in mind when you're transmitting there, obviously you don't want to talk at all. You don't want to be in a real windy environment. If you can tuck around put the wind to your back or get around a vehicle, make sure people around you aren't yakking, because all that's going to go over the FT8 frequencies if your microphone picks up any of that sound. That's one reason you want to hold it really close too. You don't want to put too much gap in my microphone on my phone, or it's like having the desk mic in the middle of a big empty room. You're gonna hear a lot of stuff.
Yeah, gotcha. Very cool. All right, so now I gotta go play with this and maybe put some more combinations in.
Yep. And I challenge you to find a place where this doesn't work. I haven't found it yet. Every time I've transmitted, I've gotten 15, 16 stations pick me up. One reports it, and I'm good.
Good deal. Well, Now I feel like I was a little weary there on how I was going to do some of this stuff without cell phone coverage, but I think now I got away.
Yep. Yeah, definitely. Definitely. I mean, it's the closest thing I can think of to a magic bullet. And it was driving me a little crazy last year. It would come through the Facebook page, the POTA page, over and over again. Someone would say, "Hey, what do I do in this situation when I don't have cell signal? How do I spot myself?" And the whole conversation would ensue. Well, you don't need to spot yourself, just call or try this or try that. And one of us would pipe up and say, "SOTAMate." And then, a week later, it repeats itself and goes over and over again. And the app hasn't gotten a whole lot of attention from larger YouTube channels. It's been some of us with the smaller channels that have covered it. And I think as a result, a lot of people still, maybe they know about it, but they just haven't tried it. It hasn't had a whole lot of exposure.
Yeah. Interesting.
But it works like a champ.
Yeah. Talking about smaller YouTube channels, not that we're all smaller YouTube channels in the grand scheme of things, but let's talk about.
That's a nice small little channel right there.
It is an excellent small little channel. If you have not subscribed to Mike, the Traveling Ham, go do it right now. Go in the description, click on that link. You had a video here where sparked some interest, the new Yaesu radio, and gave your thoughts about it.
Yeah. And it's just one of those, it's just kind of not for me. And, in that one, I kind of look at, well, what has Yaesu done in the past?
Yeah.
With radios that they've released, and then make a prediction on what I think is coming next. And that's the one that I'm excited about. And I think a number of people are.
Yeah.
And man, if you're going to watch one video on this board right here, KJ6ER and KG6 watch that video. These guys,
they were great.
Riot. They are a riot. I mean, if you want to, everyone says ham radio is supposed to be about having fun. There it is right there.
Yeah. I watched that video and I was like, what a great video. I mean, those guys they're happy to be outside. They're happy to be doing amateur radio. People know them. They're having a blast.
Yeah. And I incorrectly assumed that Jim is kind of like a sidekick and Greg's the main show. No, Jim holds his own. I'm sorry, Jim, that I made that assumption. It was a lot of fun. It was a lot of fun. That was a good one.
Well, we're gonna have to have Mike back on after I get home. Last year, one of my favorite streams was basically going through your activations and talking about every single activation and like, what you had to do to get there, what place was it, where did you set up? The Grand Canyon one was great where you drove to the bottom. I didn't know you could drive to the bottom of the Grand Canyon.
You can. There is one spot where you can really get down. I mean, there's another place up by where they put most of the boats in there at
Lee's Ferry.
Lee's Ferry, thank you.
Yeah.
But it doesn't look like the Grand Canyon when you're in that spot. But by golly, you're going down 4,400 feet, I think, at this location. You feel like you're driving down the Grand Canyon. That's a pretty neat experience. But yeah, on all these activations, I'm not a person that sits in my vehicle or goes to a picnic bench all the time. If that's the way you like to activate, I'm all for it. I like to find a spot. I like to romanticize it a little bit and find just a really cool spot in all these parks to activate.
Yeah,
that gets me out there.
It's great. I mean, again, you hit all of these parks that I literally I got to go there. I got a vacation there. It's great.
I'll tell you, hit me up in like late November, December, sometime in the holidays, because here in about a month, I'm going to go on a tear. And this channel is going to be nothing but weekly videos on national parks. There should be tons of great stuff. All the parks in Washington, all the parks in Oregon, all the parks down the eastern part of California that are so cool. There's just going to be a lot of really great stuff in there. I'm very excited.
Very cool. And you've recently, this video, I love this video. You've recently gotten to satellites.
Yep. Yeah.
And
I'm trying to get to be a guy of all modes, a ham of all modes, ham all modes, HAM.
and not only you're sharing your screen and doing the video, but on this video you had 6 passes. Oh, I just gave it away. You got to go watch the video on how many he actually made a contact through, because it was very surprising on the end results. I'll say that.
Yeah. And a little bit of a spoiler, I learned a couple weren't even on. That's a lesson you got to learn too.
I wasn't going to give it away.
When you're a satellite noob, that's something you got to learn.
I wasn't going to give it away.
You got to check and make sure they're on.
Oh, that's fun. All right. Well, go subscribe.
And the other thing we're going to do here soon, I'm going to start adding some digital modes. That was my field day. Non-FT8 digital modes. I want to get to be a ham of all modes, and I want to not only do some of that myself, but try to make a little bit of push to revitalize some of those non-FT8 modes so that we get to where we're regularly seeing PSK, Riddy, Hellschreiber, whatever, spotted on the POTA page, and those people are out there making contacts.
Yeah, that'd be great. Mike and I were conversing on text during field day, and I had enough of field day, and I had already gone to the bar with my friends. and he's just like, digital modes? And I'm like, yeah, I love Riddy. And he's like, hey, let's do it right now. I'm just like,
let's do it. I'm set up. Let's go.
I'm like, I'm having a drink.
I'm in the bar. You were doing voice on field day, weren't you?
I was doing a little bit of voice. I did a little bit of CW at the club. On the club call. But after everyone, doesn't matter how many watts you're running, well, field day is only 100 watts. But anyway, you could be on a frequency. It could be as clear as day, and then propagation changes, and then sure enough, you're run off. So
yeah,
just the way that it is. And and I get like that. I remember why I don't run on field day. I like to search and pounce, because it's just, you just can't find a frequency that you can run on for a long period of time, because the band changes and people come on and they don't hear you, and you just get a little fed up on, well, nobody's coming back to me because they're all coming back to that other station. I'm going to go somewhere else. And then, then you chase somebody off, so it's just like this cycle that I just don't like on single sideband. And because the bands are so packed,
and POTA spoils us quite a bit, and field day ain't like POTA. I can run on POTA and get 100 contacts an hour. On field day, I'm doing good. If I'm running it, I'm getting 15 an hour.
Yeah.
It just doesn't produce the same results. I haven't quite figured that out yet.
Yeah, that's a very good point. Yeah, it's not the same.
Yeah,
it's not the same. All right, very good. We've hit an hour here. Oh, a little programming note. I'm thinking about this. I don't know if I'm actually going to do it or not, but I have a satellite antenna rotator kit that is put together by my friend Dan, WA4 MCM kits, KITS. So if you go to WA4 MCM, let me share my screen again here. Kits. Let's see. We'll just do the entire screen again. Sure, why not? And let me add this to the scene. So I purchased this kit right here, the model PSR 100. It is a portable azimuth and what's the other? Azimuth and it goes up and down and left and right. So you connect a antenna on this thing, you set it on a tripod, it's got a 1/4-20 screw on the bottom, and basically you control this by your phone and it will track the satellite, so you don't have to turn your antenna. I mean, granted, whenever you're doing satellites, you want to turn your antenna for your polarization. This thing will not do this. Elevation, thanks, Grayman Pota. So it'll do elevation and azimuth automatically and track the satellite that you tell it to track. So I bought this kit. He didn't send it to me for free. I bought it with my own money. It's like $320, and it's I think I'm going to put it together tomorrow. And if I get up tomorrow morning and have enough energy to hit the live stream button, I think I just might stream the whole thing. So if I do that, I'll probably start maybe 10 o'clock Central. And yeah, I'm just going to stream me sitting here, putting the kit together. And
Cool.
yeah, I don't know how long it's going to take me. It's got quite a bit of parts and things I need to solder and put together. So it's going to be a long stream. I might take some breaks, you know, so I might put up on the screen, hey, taking a 20-minute break. I'll be back in a minute. But I think that's what I'm going to do for the 4th of July tomorrow.
Does that thing have a mag mount on the bottom of it? You could take it on the road with you.
Yeah. Well, it's got a 1/4-20 on the bottom. So you just, you
Okay.
you know, take a camera tripod and just, Grayman Pota, that would be 11 Eastern. Just, you know, what time is that in Eastern? Get out of here. Hit the end stream. Get out of here. To close your browser.
Indiana should be Central anyway. I don't know what they're thinking.
Yeah, right. I mean, what's going on with you guys in Indiana? Come on. You can't make up your mind.
That one little corner got it figured out way up by Chicago. They know.
Yeah. I mean, you and Arizona need to get together and figure out what's going on.
Hey, Arizona's got it figured out. They did it right. I think our government's going to screw it up and go the wrong way. Arizona's on standard time all the time. I think that's the way to go.
Oh yeah, that's true.
I think that's the way to go.
I'm okay with having more daylight in the day. I'm totally okay with that.
I'll call you on December 21st and at like 8 in the morning. We'll talk then and see what you think about how or 9 in the morning, how dark it still is.
Yeah. All right. So be looking for that. I don't know if I'm going to do it or not. I thought about it, but yeah, we'll see if we start the stream. So anyway. All right, Mike, anything else you want to talk about, promote?
Yes. It's great to have you back streaming, Kyle. I bet a lot of people in the chat here will back me up on that. But nice to have you back on here streaming again.
Thanks. Yeah, took a little time off, and you know, it's always good to take.
You got to do it.
Yeah. Take a little break and then get back into it. So
yeah,
more videos to come. And if you haven't noticed, I have been producing videos on my RV channel. I try and do a video a week over there, and it's a little bit easier to do videos over there because I'm new on that channel, and I haven't hit the, you know, I've got a lot of ideas for videos over there. So the videos start to come very easy. Over here, you know, you do some videos and you're just like, I've done that already. Or there's 4,000 videos on that already. And that shouldn't be an issue, but you know, sometimes it is. I'm just like, what else can I add to this? I can do my own, I can do my own spin, but you know, I'm just going to be repeating everything else. But
anytime you get a new vehicle like that and something that you're changing or renovating, I had someone ask me at Josh's camp out, hey, Mike, do you think it'd be a good idea? I'm going to make a pota van. Do you think that would make good videos? I'm like, hell yes.
Yeah.
Hell yes. You'd pass me in a heartbeat. People love that stuff.
Yes. So anyway, yeah, I've got, I actually have a ton of stuff recorded for the channel. We did a whole bunch of videos. I recorded a whole bunch of videos on upgrades to the contest station last summer. So it's us climbing towers, pulling antennas up, connecting antennas to rotors, redoing the contest station. So I just have to edit them, and I got to find time and basically motivation to edit those. And
you said us, were you up on a tower?
I was up on a tower to a certain point, and then I was done.
All right.
I don't do towers. No.
I still want to see that.
No, I was up about 30 foot, and I'm just like, guys, that's it. I'm done. I'm done. So, all right. Bill says, drop a link to the hiker channel. Well, yeah, I will in the description. It'll be in the description. So, all right, I think we're done. I think we've said it all. We've said
And
it
then
all,
some.
and then some. Yeah, we should have left about 10 minutes ago. But anyway, it is what it is. All right, thanks everyone. Appreciate it.
Thanks, Kyle.
We'll see you next time.
7-3.
73. Now I got to remember how to stop the stream. Oh, I got to go back to the control panel and say stop stream. All right, see you guys later. All right, we're clear.